what are the principles of these two religions, that is Buddhism and Jainism? Buddhism, we have seen, the principle of Buddhism is that the first principle it holds that life is suffering, and only way to escape from this suffering is to dispel one's cravings and ignorance by practicing the Eightfold Path. So what Buddha found, the reason for man's suffering is that the undue craving for things, Trishna. So he is craving for so many things, power, possessions, persons, places, different things. So that craving is the very cause. And why do you crave? Because you are ignorant. Ignorant of what? Ignorant about the true nature of the things around you or the phenomenal world. The true nature, he time and again insists that it is impermanent, insubstantial, it's only momentary. And this aspect we tend to forget. And we try to give it a permanent value, which is not there in Buddhism. Buddhism says that there isn't anything permanent. Nothing is permanent, everything is in flux or in motion. There's nothing static, nothing that is going to be continuous or permanent substratum is rolled out in Buddhism. So what he says is that the whole life is conceived as there is sorrow in life, so many things. And what is the cause of this sorrow? How you can get out of this sorrow. So that seems to be the very principles on which Buddhism is built. And what is the principle in Jainism? Respect all living things. So we will see the quite reverse of what is seen in Buddhism with regard to the self. Attain liberation by avoiding and shedding bad karmas, which is the cause of rebirths and all sufferings. 5 vows and 3 jewels to be followed, the principles in Jainism. So Jainism will say that every living organism has got a soul, and soul is that which continues to exist without the body. That is something that is eternal, which Buddhism totally denies. So from the point of the two principles, they are at a different perspective. So their principle, one principle in Buddhism is that how to overcome this sorrow in life. Sorrow is something which we experience every day. Now, how to overcome, what is the way? Follow the Eightfold Path to restore your or escape from the world of sorrow and suffering. With regard to Jainism, the principle of Jainism is that respect all living things, attain liberation by avoiding and shedding bad karmas, which is the cause of rebirths and all sufferings. And then 5 vows and the 3 jewels to be followed. What is the goal of the religion? So now there is an established, some 2 religions are there here. That is heterodox religion or unorthodox religion, Jainism, Buddhism and Jainism. What is the goal of this Buddhism? To attain enlightenment and be released from the cycle of rebirth and death, thus attaining nirvana. That is for Buddhism. So you want to be free, attain enlightenment. The most important element which a Buddhist will look for is that attainment of, that is enlightenment. Attain enlightenment about what the true nature of the phenomenal world is. So attain enlightenment and be released from the cycle of rebirth and death, thus attaining nirvana. And what is the goal of Jainism? To gain liberation and be released from cycle of rebirths. adopt a path of non-violence towards all living beings. So that is the goal of the religion. So both have got a similar goal, that is attain liberation. That is going to be the one. The one is through enlightenment, and here the liberation is to be released, to be gained by the path of non-violence. Gain liberation and be released from the cycle of rebirths. So both of them are looking for that. How to release oneself from the cycle of samsara, or that is birth, death, rebirth. It goes on and on in a cyclic form. So from the cycle of birth or rebirth and deaths continue to, or that is one of the aspects which we have seen to be released. And one is the end goal of Buddhism is nirvana, and in the end goal of the liberation, that is in Jainism, is the reinstatement of the soul to its original purity, that is of right knowledge, vision, power and bliss. So that is going to be the liberation for Jainism, restoring back the original status of the soul. That is a goal of religion. Then what about life after death? Do they speak anything about both Buddhism and Jainism? Buddhism says until one has attained nirvana, he or she will be reborn into many of the 31 planes of existence over and over again due to his or her karma. So till all the karmic principles are wiped out, there is going to be continuous birth and death. So until one has attained nirvana. Nirvana is the point wherein no more of birth and rebirth. So no more of rebirth and death. That doesn't happen once you reach nirvana. That's the concept of Buddhism with regard to life after death. So in Jainism, until liberation is achieved, circle of rebirths and deaths continue due to karma via incarnation, and any form, any life from form on earth, and also heavenly and hellish life forms. So in different forms it will keep on happening till you attain the liberation. And what is liberation according to Jainism? Reinstatement of the original purity of the soul, perfect knowledge, vision, power and bliss. Perfect knowledge, vision, power and bliss. And once you attain that, then you are already in the state of the liberation according to Jainism. Then what is the literal meaning of Buddhism and Jainism? Buddhism means those who follow the teachings of Buddha. So who is a Buddhist? One who follows the teachings of Buddha. Jainism, to become Jina or liberated soul by following the teachings of 24 Tirthankaras. So following the teachings of the founder, that is Buddha, that is in Buddhism, that is to follow his teachings and what about the various conditions or the pathways and means he has proposed. So by following that, you become adherent to Buddhism. And Jainism, the literal meaning of Jainism is to become a Jina, a victor, or liberated soul by following the teachings of 24 Tirthankaras. 24 Tirthankaras in all the line of succession we have, and for two of them, the last two of them we have some evidence, whereas about others we do not have. What are the means of salvation? If you want to liberate, then you should have, let's say, goal which I am going to have it. But then what are the means I have for attaining that goal? Buddhism has nothing to do with the salvation. The only goal in Buddhism is to attain nirvana. So when you speak about the goal of life, Buddhism has no goal as such, except that it is the only goal in Buddhism is to attain nirvana, only that. To do this, we should let go our desires, cravings and attachments, and try to dispel our ignorance. So that is the means to reach the goal of nirvana. So nirvana is the goal in Buddhism. What is the goal in Jainism? Goal is to unshackle the soul from bondage of karma, which results in misery due to many rebirths and deaths. Once the soul is freed from these bondages, it achieves nirvana and becomes a perfect soul, free from all attachments in an eternal blissful state.